Man, the benefits of exercising with T1D, or at least diabetes as a whole, is insane. I'll start off with the thought that hit me today because I can go on for days about why I think exercise is important and how much I see benefit. But the first one was after breakfast. A lot of you guys know I don't really have the greatest relationship with food, but slowly I'm developing a better relationship, and I feel like I'm at a really good place now mentally. It's such a mental game with eating. I always want to say I want to eat to live versus living to eat. I don't want to just look forward to food, eat food, and have that be my enjoyment. There's other things in life that are amazing and I want to do versus just like having to be excited to eat. And I was on the treadmill and I was thinking like, man, I'm really full. Like I had breakfast, my usual breakfast, and then I had snacked around almonds. I just wasn't feeling right mentally. I was in my head like, Ali, you know that you're full. You're physically satisfied. But satisfaction with food, there's two different types, I think. And it's one of them is mental. The other one is actually being satisfied physically. And it's two different games, what I feel like. The more I'm in tune with my body, the more I can, not in a sense put down the fork, but I can portion my meals less, dose less insulin, and thus I can follow the law of small numbers, which is, the less insulin I take, the smaller numbers I create, the less, when I do create an error, the less, I would say, the outcome will be crazy. It won't be a large outcome. My mistake won't be a large outcome. This is what Dr. Bernstein teaches. But the main point is I want to develop a better relationship with food. If I can do that, I can take less insulin, I can control my blood sugar better, I can lose that weight I've been wanting to lose, I can become more insulin sensitive, and the domino effect starts creating. If I get this thing down, I can get a lot more things done with my diabetes. And exercising brings me in tune with my body. I can listen really, really, really good to my body. It's really weird. While I'm eating, it's a different story. Like, I'm zoned into eating. I just want to eat more. I'm not even thinking about that. And when I'm home and I'm not exercising, even if I'm doing something that's really boring or I'm not involved in some kind of activity that's keeping me productive or busy, I'm hungry. And I'm not actually hungry. It's just the mental thing I see it as. Now, I'm not forcing myself to eat nothing and then I'm like, no, you're not hungry. You're not hungry. I know this for a fact because when I have breakfast, I'll wait a couple hours, I'll have lunch. Now, I usually work out after lunch, 5 hours or so, because I don't want to eat and then go straight to the gym right after. I feel like that's just going to be hard for me. I don't like feeling full going into the gym. I like feeling almost empty, there's nothing in my system. That's how I work out really well. And working out for me, that's another story. I zone out to working out. I love it so much. It's my escapism. I relieve stress in the gym. But if it takes me 5 hours to really digest my food, that means that I had too much food to eat. And I'm in a sense inspired not to snack because I'm looking forward to my workout. If I snack, then I have to wait longer for my food to digest. If I don't end up waiting, I'll just feel like I almost want to throw up in my workout. Or in a sense, I just feel full. It's not always throwing up, but I just feel full. And every time I exercise, my body just tells me, it just reminds me of what I just ate and what I actually feel like is going on versus mental. Feeling full mentally. Because if you're binge eating, it's never enough. You can just go on and on and on. And in reality, I'm pretty full with 600 calories of one meal of a high protein, low carb, somewhat higher fat meal. Like, that fills me up. That's really big for me. But all my life, I've never noticed, I've never paid attention to how much calories something is, how many carbs something has, how long it takes me to digest certain foods. I never knew this, obviously, before I got diagnosed with diabetes. Getting diagnosed with diabetes, these things happen to you. You start focusing on, okay, these meals fill me up. Oh, I got to take this much insulin. This is what happens to my blood sugar when I eat this thingy. Oh, I waited this long and I felt like this. I felt hungry here. You never think about those. If you're a 21-year-old or if you're, under 30 and you have diabetes or you don't have diabetes, you don't think about any of this stuff unless you're into health. And I think that's the beauty of also, getting diagnosed with diabetes. So I don't want to scatter my thoughts everywhere. The top benefits I see of working out for me is, one, being in tune with your body, not having to eat as much. That's humongous. And whatever goal that brings you, is that better blood sugar, is that weight loss, is that feeling better at work, feeling productive, feeling energized. Number two is increased insulin sensitivity. That's super, super amazing. Like, that's great. Our insulin sensitive, like, when we're resistant, I feel like that's that's depression for me. Like, that's hard. Like, I'm injecting water and I'm like, what's going on? Why is my blood sugar high? The worst is, trying so hard to control your blood sugar and it's not budging at all. It's one thing to eat crap and have low expectations, and your blood sugar is high. You're like, oh, well, I ate something bad, so that's me. But if you're trying and you see that number not going down, that's going to piss you off. So insulin sensitivity is huge. And number three, it's the way I relieve stress. Now, I really feel like the benefits of exercise goes on and on and on. But for me, it was that relieving stress. That's the third one for me. So being in tune with your body is so much about listening to what's actually going on, and versus being numb is what I would call it. I was numb for the longest time. I would eat an 800-calorie meal, but knowingly, physically, my body was telling me, hey, Ali, you're full. Like, this is too much food. But me, knowing me and how I am with food, I was like, no, I can eat more. I can eat way more, because there's just so many different factors. You get diagnosed, it's just emotional stuff going on, or food is your comfort. Everything else, it seems negative, and it's bringing you pain, and this seems like the only light. So I understand. I completely hear you if that's going on with you. But those are my top 3 benefits. I hope this brings you a lot of value. I'll see you guys soon.